We're back with more Freed on Business. We're in our social media session with our head SMO, social media optimizer, Blanca Stella Mejia. How are you, Blanca? We missed you last week.
Yes, I did too. But we've been talking a lot about, we have lots of buzz going on in the social media with you.
Yes, well, we do have a lot of buzz going on in social media with me. Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking at property on the west coast of Florida this weekend, and I was in the back seat, and the guys that were driving back. We're in the middle of the Tamiami Trail, and they're listening to all the Fox News and CNN News and all this other news, and I'm thinking to myself, I want to read some sports. So I'm in the back, and I open up my BlackBerry, I turn on Twitter, and bang, I start reading all the Twitter feeds on sports, and people go, well, what are you going to read? It's only 141 characters. No, duh, you haven't been there. Okay, it's 141 characters, but they have an automatic thing that shortens the URL. So you can go in, read the guy's tease on what he's talking about, click the URL, and you get the full Sunday sports column from these guys. It was amazing. I had such a great time. I found a new frontier. And then I'll talk about what happened at the Green Pearl Conference today. I ran into a bunch of, I'll just have to say, under 40 real estate professionals. They aren't old men like me. And I told them that I Twitter and that I do LinkedIn and I do Facebook, and they were thrilled. They wanted to all, hook up with me on Twitter and stuff. It's really, really cool. And then finally, this is my social media update. Finally, I'm getting the hang of it where I can send out across the media platforms, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, and the Twitter, all in one shot on Hootsuite right before the show. And I can program it days in advance. It's so cool. So Blanca, thank you for teaching me all of those neat things.
And I saw I went on Facebook the other night, and I said, let me see what Jim's been doing. And when that went through, someone made a comment on your Facebook that it was a really nice show. So I thought that was cool.
Oh, that's so totally cool. And it wasn't my mom, was it?
No, it wasn't me. Actually, two people commented.
Other than my mom. One was my mom, I'm sure.
So imagine when you start engaging a lot, that you might end up with something like 50 comments.
Well, my question to you is, isn't Facebook almost like a country at this point?
Well, yeah, I was looking at this article that just saw on my way here on a red light.
Yeah, well, don't be reading at no red lights either. We talked about respecting the police, respecting the people on the road. So respect me. I may be the guy in front of you.
You know the don't text and drive?
Yes.
Don't tweet and drive either.
I don't do any of that.
I don't do anything. I just do look at.
I don't drive. I don't phone. I have a voice phoning. It's great.
Yeah. So anyway, Ad Age came out with this article today, and it's about, they asked a lot of people what cities they believe would have the most influence in transforming the lives of people over the next few years. And ta-da, Miami is one of the most mentioned.
Because we're like a transforming melting pot where neat ideas bubble up and happen?
Yeah. And
how cool.
Yeah. And what you were just saying is that one of the most mentioned is Facebook.
Oh, you're kidding. How cool. I didn't even know that.
Well, it says technically not a city, but a number of people pointed out that Facebook has become a place you choose to migrate to, where you live and maybe work in micro suburbs and build yourself with friends as neighbors. So
yeah, it's a community.
Yes, it is a community.
It's a community.
And you know how you were reading, you get all the news and the sports on Twitter? Well, This morning, a bunch of I have a community of bloggers that I'm friends with, and they're at this conference in Tennessee right now called Blistum. So the hashtag is Blistum.
Oh boy.
So, I actually, while I was having my coffee, I was reading the hashtag stream of Blistum, and I got a lot of information of what the keynote speech was about. So I kind of felt like I participated.
Yeah, well, you're part of the community.
Well, and I wasn't even there.
Yeah,
so
well, you don't have to be there anymore to be part of the community, which is what we talk about all the time. It's ability to reach out and touch people without bothering them. They can choose to participate, all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's how I started. I mean, I started on Twitter just trying to find who were the local people on Twitter, and then once I took it offline and going to different tweet ups, one of the things that I told you in the beginning is that there's no barrier with at least for me, I haven't seen the barrier in the age is that we all share a common passion of communicating and just sharing what we're into.
Well, that's it. It's
Yes.
sharing the passion.
Yes.
And when you have a passion about something, it comes out, which is why we love having you on the show, because
Thank
you are
you.
so passionate.
Yeah, I am passionate because it does transform lives. It transformed my life. I mean, you know, if you're sitting at home and you're going through a major life change, well, just get out there. Oh, another place that I found is Yelp.
Yelp?
Yelp?
What's Yelp?
Well, you know, I'm putting myself in local directories
Uh-huh.
for my business, and one of them is Yelp. And a lot of people put a lot of reviews for restaurants there and everything. And actually, I was kind of looking at my profile there and seeing what people were writing about different restaurants. It's actually a community.
Huh. Now let me
Yeah.
ask you a question about Facebook. How many friends on Facebook does it take a business before the business can really say that it's solid, it's got a solid fan base, and it can make money on the fan base?
It's the quality of the people,
Oh.
not the amount.
Okay, okay,
Quality of engagement.
okay.
And so there's one article that's very popular called 1,000 True Fans, and it defines a true fan as someone that's willing to drive 200 miles to buy your product. They have Google alerts set up for you that they're really interested in buying your product. So basically, it's very important that you can see that just with 1,000 people that you directly, constantly engaging with, you can earn a living. Like if 1,000 people spend $100 a year, then technically you can make $100,000.
You just have to have the product they want. Mom, are you listening?
Yes.
Mom? Mike liked your cookies.
Well, you know, I'm building a website for my guitar teacher.
Okay,
Yes, and the reason I'm doing it, she's been teaching. She's like your mom's age,
right.
or probably older, and
No, they're not, no, we won't go there. They're very, very experienced human beings.
Well, my guitar teacher has been teaching in Miami for over 40 years, and I just came up with the idea of putting a website just so I can start having some keywords. And, you know, we're careful of how, you know, who's going to be calling her. I'm doing it with her son.
Right.
So, but my guitar teacher is going to have a website.
That's great. I
Yeah.
think we need to do one for my mom's cookies too.
Yes, we're going to do that. for your
Okay,
mom's
that's
cookies.
excellent. And then Mike,
Yeah.
I promise you'll get cookies, but you'll have to wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, could you imagine your mom's cookies, my guitar teacher, and then
We
you
can
know,
auction Mike's t-shirts off.
and then whoever's sitting on the sidelines and said, "Nah, I can't get into all that," and then you see, you know, Jim's mom, you know,
Jim's mom's cookies take off.
Yes, exactly.
And you know, we have the same thing with Estrella Marketing. The Estrella Marketing guys have shown me the statistics now. Our open ratio it's doubled. We used to have only 2,000, 2,500 people opening the emails. We're well past 5,000-6,000 now. And
That's amazing.
That's very indicative of our listening audience. You hear that, people? Keep opening the emails, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, and then one day you're just gonna have to send an email that you're proud that your mom has this
Great cookies thing.
cookie business.
I love my mom. She's the greatest.
And then the
She's
conversion
greatest.
rate's gonna be like 80%.
You know it. You know it. You're hearing that, Mom? We're making you the cookie queen. And Mike will make you the t-shirt king.
Sounds good.
All right.
So do we have a few more minutes?
We've got a minute or two, yeah.
Well, another thing, going in line with the 1,000 True Fans and the engagement, there's something called crowdsourcing. And crowdsourcing, one of my friends on
I just
Facebook-
made the eyebrow raise. That's
Yes.
what.
One of my friends on Facebook, he's his name is Craig. He wanted to do a tech show with a local TV show,
Mhm.
and so he crowdsourced. He went to all his friends on Facebook to get a name for the show, and he had at least 50 or maybe more comments. So this was all going on for about a couple weeks, and finally the other day he announced that for the name for the show, and that was all through crowdsourcing. He got it through his community.
That's
Yeah.
really
And he acknowledged
neat.
the person that helped him to get the name.
That's great. So I can go on Foursquare and become the mayor. Then I can tweet about the fact that I'm the mayor. And then I can help people can figure out a new title for me on Crowdsource.
Yes,
Oh my
Right,
gosh,
you're
I'm
a
becoming.
crowdsourcer. Well, because then you can help other businesses.
And then I can let everybody know on Hootsuite.
Oh, you'll be the Miami crowdsource king.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So another thing that besides about talking about Facebook being a place,
Mm-hmm.
one of my friends was visiting Thailand, right?
Yeah,
And so he said he was on his, he does this TripIt
right,
application.
right.
And I said, hey, one of my friends is in Thailand right now. Another friend that's from Miami, but they're from there.
Mhm.
And so I got them together in Thailand. So here they were tweeting, Facebooking at the same time. And here I'm following their streams. And I was so happy that I was almost visiting Thailand. They're sharing pictures with me. And I was a
Oh,
part
nice.
of their little trip.
Oh, nice. Well, now we are almost out of time. What little nugget of social media do you want to leave us with this week?
Well, one of the books I listened to Zappos, the guy of Zappos.com, the
Sorry,
big shoe company.
Okay, right.
Okay.
You say Zappos, I think Frank Zappa. Sorry, I'm an old man.
Well, one of the books, I'll talk more about him next week, but Tribal Leadership is a great book to read.
Okay, well that's great, Blanca. Thank you so much for coming in and giving us our window onto social media.